Hey everyone, welcome back to Code of the Row, where we're learning how to code in GDScript using the Godot engine. So I'm going to go ahead and launch Godot and just create a new project, and I'll call this GDScript and just save it in my default wherever it says. And then under render, I'm going to select forward plus, and you can really select whatever because we're just coding in this. And then I'll hit create and edit, and then it will launch Godot engine. The first thing I'm going to do is just head over and click on this plus icon, and I'm going to look for a node. And I'm just going to click on this node and click create. And I'm actually going to right click and rename this to main, like so. And then I'll just save this as a scene. So I'm going to hit Control S to save, and it'll automatically change the file name to main.tscn. And I'll click save like so. And then I'm simply going to add a script by selecting main over here, and you'll see the script icon pop up. I'm going to click on this plus sign to add the script, and I'll just leave the name as main.gd. And then I'll hit create. And I'll hold Control and mouse wheel in to zoom in so it's more readable for you. And then I'll hit Shift F11 on my keyboard to full screen Godot. So now you won't see my Windows taskbar. And I'll just zoom in a little more like so. And this looks good to me. So far we've set up Godot, created a project, and run a simple Hello World program. Now it's time to get into the fun part, which is coding. Today we're going to break down the basics of GDScript syntax, the structure and rules you need to follow in order to write code in Godot. So I've got a fresh script open here. Let's start by creating a simple variable in GDScript. So I'm going to just select everything or hold Control and A to select all, and then click backspace to delete everything. So now I'm going to type in var my underscore variable is equal to 10. So this line creates a variable called my variable and assigns it to the value 10. Easy, right? Notice how there's no need to specify what type of data this variable holds. GDScript automatically figures out based on the value that it's assigned. So in this case, it would be an integer. And now let's talk about data types. The common types you will work with in GDScript are integers, which are whole numbers such as 10 or 5, float numbers, which are numbers with decimals such as 3.14, strings, which are simple text just like the hello world, and booleans, which can be set to either true or false. Let's define a few more variables to demonstrate this. Here I've created some variables of different types, and GDScript lets us work with integers, floats, strings, booleans, and so on seamlessly. Next, let's take a look at functions. Functions let you group a set of actions together so you can reuse them easily. Think of functions as mini programs within your programs. Here's how we create one in GDScript. So I'm going to create a function with the keyword func called my underscore function. And then I'll add the curly brackets and then I'll add parentheses and the colon after, and then I'll just do a print. This is a simple function. And it might take some time for that red error to go away. If it stays, that means there actually is an error. So whenever we call this function called my function, all it's going to do is print this is a simple function to the output column. Functions in GDScript are defined using the func keyword, followed by the name of the function and parentheses. So let's go ahead and actually run this. So I'll hit Control S to save, and you'll know that there are changes that need to be saved if you see the star icon next to your file. So when I hit Control S, it'll go away, like so. And now I actually need to run a function called funcReady, which runs automatically as soon as the scene starts. So down here, I'll just create func underscore ready with parentheses and a colon after, and I'm just going to call the my function that we created before. And this will simply just call everything in here, which should print this as a simple function over to our console. And up here, because we are using the node variable, I want to extend node. So when I type in extends node like so this line extends node means that you're telling Godot that your script is going to inherit the functionality of the node class. This allows you to inherit built-in methods. So you'll get access to default behavior and methods that node has, such as this ready function that we defined down here. It also allows you to attach a script to the node in the scene tree. Since the script is an extension of the node class, you can attach it to any node that belongs to the node type or its subtypes. And you can also customize the behavior. You can add your own methods, variables, and logic to extend the default behavior of the node. So this extends node simply means we're inheriting everything from the node class, and you can now modify the behavior as you wish. So now when I hit Control S to save and actually click play, it'll run our engine, and down here in the console, you'll see that it calls our function that we created. So it'll say this is a simple function being called from our funcReady. If I were to go ahead and actually erase this and try to click play, then nothing would simply print here because we don't have that funcReady, which is pretty much just calling our function as soon as we begin our scene. So I'll go ahead and add that back. And now let's talk about something really important in GDScript, indentation. Just like Python, GDScript uses indentation to define code blocks. This means everything inside a function or inside an if statement or loop needs to be indented properly. So as you'll see here. So let's go ahead and actually try this out. So I'll actually move this func ready up here. And now down here, I'll create another function called func another function, like so. And now I'm actually going to backspace to get rid of that indent and then just type in print, oops, this will cause an error. And now it'll even come up down here saying error at 1425. So over here, expected in indented block after the function declaration. See how this code isn't indented? Godot will flag this as an error because it expects the code inside another function to be indented. So always make sure your code is neatly indented like this. And now this will go away and we can see this properly. And I'll change this just for a visual purpose. And finally, let's go ahead and talk about comments. Comments are bits of text in your code that the computer ignores, but they're super useful for explaining what your code is doing. You can add comments in GDScript using the hashtag symbol. So for example, if I wanted to just explain what this does, I can add that hashtag and then I can type in whatever I want on this line. So I'll just go ahead and write, this is a comment, like so. And if you wanted to even go further and explain what your functions do, just in case you're sharing your code with other people, you can define, they'll be able to read and tell what this line does. This simply prints, this is a simple function. So pretty explanatory to you, but not all coders are on the same level. Comments are great for leaving notes for yourself or others working on your code. So we've covered quite a bit today. We learned about creating variables and different data types, writing functions and calling them, the importance of indentation in GDScript, how to add comments to your code, and what the extends node actually does. This is just the beginning, but these building blocks will help you write cleaner and more effective code as we dive deeper into GDScript. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more GDScript tutorials. Thanks for watching Code of the Road.